Hi! Welcome to this video. Today, we will learn about solving quadratic inequalities. And here are the standard forms of quadratic inequality. ax squared plus bx plus c is greater than to 0. ax squared plus bx plus c is less than to 0. ax squared plus bx plus c is greater than or equal to 0. ax squared plus bx plus c is less than or equal to 0. In other words, a quadratic inequality is in standard form when the inequality is set to 0, just like in quadratic equation. So what is quadratic inequality? Quadratic inequality is an inequality that contains a polynomial of degree 2 and can be written with the following symbols: greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, and less than or equal to. Anyway, the method we will use is number line and test point method. And if the inequality symbol involved is greater than or less than, we will use open circle in graphing the number line. And when it also involves greater than or equal to and less than or equal to, we will use solid circle. And now, we will try warm-up number 1 and warm-up number 2. In warm-up number 1, let's graph the following on a number line. Number 1, x is greater than to 3. Since our inequality symbol is greater than, we will use open circle. Let's just put our open circle in 3. It means 3 is not included in solution set. And since x is greater than to 3, we will just think of those numbers that are greater than 3. And yes, you're right. The numbers that are greater than 3 are positive 4, positive 5, positive 6, and so on, or positive infinity. And then, we will put arrow or ray going through right that indicates no end points. Number 2, x is less than to negative 7. We will just put again open circle in negative 7. And it shows that x is less than negative 7. Then, we will put arrow going through left side. That means negative infinity. Number 3, s is greater than or equal to negative 6. In this part, we will use solid circle. That means negative 6 is part of the solution. And since s is greater than or equal to negative 6, our arrow will go again through right. Number 4, the last number in warm-up number 1. Y is less than or equal to 6. So, we will use again a solid circle in number 6. And it shows less than or equal to 6. Then, the arrow will go through again in left. And now, let's proceed to warm-up number 2. Warm-up number 2, write the inequality. In number 1, we call it joint solution because our solutions are going through each other. which are -5, -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, +1, 2, 3, and 4. That's why if we write the inequality, it should always be together. So we will just write their boundaries. Let's put the x in between since the solution is from -5 to +4. And after that, we will just analyze the graph. Thus, -5 is equal or greater than the value of x, or in the solution from -5 to +4. And yes, it is possible that it will be equal since the circle used is solid. But we can see that -5 is less than the value of x. That's why we will put less than or equal to. And after that, we will compare the value of x to 4. And as what we can see, the value of x is less than or equal to +4. And that's why we will put again less than or equal to. In number 2, separated solution. For that reason, we will also write in a separate way. So we will just put the x and our two roots. As we can see in the graph, the value of x is less than the value of -5. And it is open circle. That's why we will use less than in equality. So x is less than to -5. It means -5 is not included in the set of solution. And on the other hand, the value of x is greater than 6. That's why we will use greater than inequality symbol. X is greater than to 6. In number 3, separated solution again. But in this part, solid circle was used, meaning the inequality symbols we can use are less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. We will put again our x and our two roots. As we can see, our solution is from -5 going through left, and the inequality we will use is less than or equal to -5. So x is less than or equal to -5. And on the other hand, we can see the part of solution is from 0 through positive infinity. So we will just put here x is greater than or equal to 0. Finally, the last number. And for the number 4, as we can see, it is joint solution again. So it means if we will write it down, it will also be together. And now we will put their boundaries. Then we will compare -7 to the value of x. Open circle was used. It means -7 is not part of the solution. For that reason, we can use greater than or less than 2. Since, as we can see that -6, -5, -4, -3, -2, and -1 is greater than -7, therefore, we will use less than. So, -7 is less than 2x. And if we also compare the value of x to -1, we can also see that the value of x is less than the value of -1. That's why we will also use less than. So our solution is -7 is less than 2, x is less than 2, -1. Now, we will apply what you have learned in warm-up number 1 and warm-up number 2. Let's solve quadratic inequalities. Example number 1, x squared plus 7x plus 12 is greater than 0. First step, we will make it a quadratic equation. We will just change the inequality symbol to equal sign. Then, it will become x squared plus 7x plus 12 is equal to 0. Second step, solve the roots of the given equation using any method. And since it is factorable, we will solve it using factoring. So, x plus 4 times the quantity of x plus 3 is equal to 0. Then, we will apply the zero product property and it will become x plus 4 is equal to 0 and x plus 3 is equal to 0. After that, we will just apply the subtraction property of equality. Subtract both sides by 4 and 3 respectively. So, our roots are x is equal to -4 and -3. Then, we will plot our roots to our number line. Open circle in -4 and -3. So, it means -4 and -3 is not part of the solution. As we can see, our number line is divided in 3 regions: left side, middle, and right side. Actually, in solving this class, you need to choose test points in every region. But in here, the thing I will show you is only a shortcut. Instead of choosing 3 test points, we will just select one, and that is very easy, which is 0. So x is equal to 0. Why 0? Because class, 0 is very easy to solve or to simplify. And class, always remember that the test point you select that is located in the middle and then the result is true, then automatic, the left and right is false. Okay, let's try. Let's substitute the value of x by 0. So, 0 raised to second power plus 7 times the quantity of 0 plus 12 is greater than 0. Simplify. 0 plus 0 plus 12 is greater than 0. And 12 is greater than 0, which is true. And since our 0 is in the right side, our left and right sides are part of the solution. So, we will put our arrow here, and in order to prove that our left side is also part of the solution, let us get test point in the left side. We will get the easy one, which is -5. So, x is equal to -5. Then, substitute the value of x. Simplify. So, 25 plus the quantity of -35 plus 12 is equal to +2 is greater than 0. And it is also true. It means our left side is also part of the solution. And our middle side, even if we will not solve it, we already know that it is not part of the solution. But in order to prove it, we will get test point in the middle. So x is equal to negative 3.5. Substitute the value of x, then simplify. 12.25 minus 24.5 plus 12 is greater than to 0. And we all know that negative 0.25 is not greater than to 0. Therefore, this is false because class 0 is greater than negative number. So it means our middle side is not part of this. And now, let's write the inequality. So the solution is separated. For that reason, we will also write it in a separate way. So, x is less than to negative 4 or x is greater than to negative 3. Well, the solution set of the inequality is x is less than to negative 4 or x is greater than to negative 3. Okay, we will proceed to the next example class. Number 2 example. X squared minus 5x plus 4 is greater than or equal to 0. So again, we will make it as quadratic equation. It will become x squared minus 5x plus 4 is equal to 0. Then after that, we will get its factor. X minus 4 times the quantity of x minus 3 is equal to 0. Apply zero product property. X minus 4 is equal to 0 and x minus 1 is equal to 0. Solve the value of x using addition property of equality. Add both sides by 4 and 1 respectively. So, x is equal to 4 and positive 1. After, graph it to your number line class. This time, we will use solid circle since our inequality symbol have or equal. It means our 4 and positive 1 is part of the solution. So, positive 1 and positive 4. Next, we will get test point. So, we will have 0. X is equal to 0. Then, substitute the value of x by 0. So, it will become 0 raised to the power of 2 minus 5 times the quantity of 0 plus 4 is greater than or equal to 0. Then, simplify. 4 is greater than or equal to 0, which is true. And since the test point we use is in the left and the result is true, so it means our left and right sides are part of the solution. So we will put our arrow there and we will have again a separated solution. So we will write it in a separate way. X is less than or equal to 1 or x is greater than or equal to 4. So the solution set of the inequality is x is less than or equal to 1 or x is greater than or equal to 4. Number 3 example or last example. X squared minus 4x minus 12 is less than to 0. Make it a quadratic equation. X squared minus 4x minus 12 is equal to 0. Factor it. Always remember class, if it is factorable, so factor it. to get the roots of quadratic equation faster. X minus 6 times the quantity of x plus 2 is equal to 0. And then apply again the zero product property. Just equate it to 0. X minus 6 is equal to 0 and x plus 2 is equal to 0. Then addition property of equality to the left, while in the right is subtraction property of equality. X is equal to 6 and x is equal to negative 2. Plot it to your number line. This time we will use open circle because our inequality symbol don't have or equal. So put it in negative 2 and positive 6. Then we will get a test point again, which is 0. Substitute the value of x by 0. 0 raised to the second power minus 4 times the quantity of 0 minus 12 is less than 2, 0. So 0 minus 12 is less than 2, 0. And negative 12 is less than 2, 0, which is true. Since the negative number is literally smaller than 0, that's why it is true. And as we notice, our 0 is in the middle and it was true, so it means our solution set is located in the middle. The solution set of the inequality is negative 2 is less than 2x and x is less than 2, positive 6. Thank you for watching. I hope you've learned something from this video. Bye!